Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you're watching this. I do hope it finds you well. My name is John, and I am an author. And I am coming to you here on another lovely Monday to talk a little bit about mental health, some of the things I go through, and some of the things that helps. Um, what I'm going to talk to you a little bit here today is the matter of self care. Um, that's really a common thing you hear, and this can take all different forms. So, as I've said in some of my other videos around mental health in particular, um, if some of the things I'm going to mention that have helped for me personally don't help for you or haven't helped for you, or you think something else might work better, do that instead. you know, with mental health is within many things in the world. There is no one size fits all, but I'm coming to you with a little video on what's helped for me because we're all in this together, and if we can share ideas, that's the best way forward. So to start off with, a little bit about self care. That's, I mean, as the name implies, it's making sure that you're taking care of yourself and taking care of your mental health. Now, certainly, you know, when people say that, there tends to be, I think, for a lot of people, there tends to be an image, you know, conjured of spa days and manicures and pedicures and massages and long baths, all of which are fantastic, by the way. If you do some or all of those things and you love them, great. It's not that it's not that. But I think a more important type of self care, and this particular idea is not new or original to me. Please don't think I'm claiming that. Is taking care of yourself and your mental health on a daily basis and doing things, even small things that just help you be your best self and take care of yourself. Um, one of mine is, and one of mine as being an author is absolutely writing, is finding time to write. Getting I love writing. Getting regular writing done is one of the best things I can do for my mental health. It's something with which I have struggled for years, to get regular writing done and create sort of a regular habit of it. The last close to 2 months now, I've been doing pretty well with it. But there were long stretches where I didn't, and it definitely had a negative impact on my mental health. I always feel when I've gotten some writing, especially some productive writing done, I always feel particularly good about that. Um, Another thing, that I've started doing really only fairly recently is taking, more care of my appearance. Like, for years and years and years and years and years, I never did anything to, like, properly brush out my beard and mustache, or, style or do anything with my hair. I cleaned it, I shower almost every day. I clean, so it was all clean, but, I just sort of let it be, you know, whatever random sticky angle it felt like being, and never did anything with it. And in part was I convinced I couldn't. I was going off of, as sometimes happened, I was going off old information that I remember in a very brief time when I was 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there. It literally only lasted for a month or two, where I tried to style my hair. Um, and because you probably can't see in the video, but because I have naturally quite thick hair, It required so much of the product I was trying to use at the time or what was available that it took a while, and B, it felt like I was wearing a plastic helmet. There was so much stuff in my hair that I gave it up and assumed just my hair was unmanageable. Um and I've only recently decided to, as I've been on a journey over the last 4 or 5 months in particular of really getting a proper handle on my mental health, that just taking this, and this, it doesn't even take 5 minutes to do this. It takes like two or three. It takes a minute or two if I'm getting out of the shower and my hair's already damp to, put just a little bit of product, so it hold, and then comb it back and then brush out my beard. It takes 2 or 3 minutes if I haven't just taken a shower, to wet my hair, put the little bit of product and do that, and I feel so much more like put together in myself, um, and confident and happy if I just that simple matter of just taking a moment. Like it's not a huge production, it's not a ton of product. I don't feel like I'm wearing a plastic helmet. Just a little bit of production that gives me a lot more confidence, and through that a lot more positivity and mental health. And that kind of links with something I quickly discovered. When we were all locked down and working from home in during COVID over the last 4 years, is that my mental health and focus is a lot better when I'm working if I get properly dressed. Now, if you're the type that you are perfectly good working when and if you're working from home in your pajamas, hey, great. But I just found for my mental health and having that separation between, work John and home John, is I found it very helpful to actually get, proper dressed, shirt, undershirt, pants, all that, proper pants, all that before going into work or before coming into my office and working. And I still do that. I'm working from home this week at my job, and I am dressed in proper clothes, and that just helps. It helps me focus. It helps my mental health, because I feel that there should be, um, sort of on the matter of self care. Also, I've never been an advocate of what a lot of people and a lot of jobs in particular say of like, you know, keep work at work and keep home at home. Nobody can compartmentalize that well, or at the very least, if anyone is that good at compartmentalizing things from each other, I'd be willing to bet that's not the most healthy. Now, when you're at home, you should be your focus should be as much as possible on home stuff. When you're work, you should be focused on work stuff, but there's always going to be some bleed over. But without any kind of unhealthy compartmentalization or anything like that, I've always found that getting, I'm going to do work even at home, that I'm dressed properly. Obviously, I don't. It doesn't need to go all the way. Like for me, like yes, I'm wearing like a proper shirt like I'd wear to work. I'm wearing proper pants like I'd wear to work. But unless I'm cold, I'm not putting socks on. I'm definitely not putting shoes on, or anything like that. So you know, but that little bit just helps. Um, Other things, is taking care of, another aspect of self care that I've really been trying to do better about practice is taking care of my physical health. Um, that has certainly taken the form of actually finally after 36 years, you know, or the majority of the last 36 years, finally getting myself properly diagnosed as having ADHD, which I do. Or in the last, and getting in proper medication and actually fixing or getting on top of my medication for my anxiety and that can take that form. That can take, the form. Proper self-care could take the form of, if you're not physically not feeling the best, or been having not just mental but physical issues, is actually going to the doctor about them. That was another thing that I, you know put off for far too long. Like, I've had about a year and a half now. I've had a CPAP machine. I should have probably been on one for at least twice that length of time. Um, just to take proper care of my breathing, and through that, my heart health, especially since I got a family history. Um, it's Self care is also adapting to you know what you have going on the day. Like, I think it's far too common for you to see people of like to like really advocate, and of like, go go go, work work work, and do your work, do your side hustles, do this, do that, blah. And it's just recognizing that you're not capable no one is capable of going full tilt all the time without burnout. And it's just sort of taking what it comes. And I used to be really bad about sort of creating plans of what I wanted to do, and then if I wasn't able to live up to them, of like really sort of getting down on myself for, for not doing it. For example, like this past weekend, I had plans to do some, to get some yard stuff done, to, start preparing our yard for spring, and put up a new ceiling fan in our bedroom because the old one's broken. Um, but it was either a minor cold, or I was really getting aggressively, attacked by my allergies. Because it's lovely here in Oregon, things have warmed up enough that I'm sure the pollen count's through the roof, and it's done the lovely, wet, dry, warm, cold that sends the pollen count absolutely through the roof. Not pollen, the mold count absolutely through the roof, and I am allergic to mold. So I have felt like, quite frankly, crap all weekend. So I didn't do it. I didn't pretty much do any of that. And in the past, that would have been something I 100% would have beat myself up on. Like, oh, I didn't do it. Didn't do what I need to. I was just being lazy, la, 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 la. I wasn't feeling 100%. So, of course, I couldn't, give 100%. And self care was, I did a few things like the never ending story of adulthood, which is laundry, and, making food when needed, and taking care of the dogs and my wife. But I'm not beating myself up for not doing what I wasn't feeling well enough to do in the first place. Um so yeah, those are all things, or sort of my philosophy that I've come to. None of it's original to me, but I've come to on self-care of just, you know, it's all comes down to, making sure to take care of myself, and my mental health, and my physical health, and the health of my health. And that's another thing is cleaning. Um, Cleaning, organizing. If you do better with, a clean kitchen, or an organized living room, or an organized office, take a little time, and don't kill yourself doing that. I mean, my office has been a work in progress for, ooh, Lord knows how long, but of just taking those extra moments of like, oh, I've got a free little bit of time, I'll straighten this up a little bit, or I'll straighten that up a little bit, or do a quick vacuum. And just, you know a step forward is a step forward, no matter how small. And then just, keep up on it. All right, well, that's probably all the rambling I'm going to be doing around sort of my philosophy and sort of some of my strategies, basic strategies for self care. I would love to hear your comments, thoughts, suggestions on type of self care below. Obviously, like, share, subscribe. That would all be awesome to this channel. My usual little plug for myself: I have two books available on Amazon: The Shadow of the Past and When the Sun Burned Red, or And the Sun Burned Red. Actually, believe it or not, mostly remember the titles of my own books. I really encourage you to check those out on Amazon. Those links are below, as are links to my personal website as well as my socials. I'd love you to check me out or give me a follow there. In the meantime, I do hope you have a fantastic day and get an opportunity to do something creative, and I will catch you on the next one.